Loggers fans, and welcome into another edition of Meet the Loggers. My name is Nick Riddolotti from the Loggers Radio Network, and today I am joined by Loggers third baseman Kevin Kramer. Kevin, thanks very much for being on today.
Thank you for having me, Nick.
And now, Kevin, growing up, you're the youngest of three brothers. Talk about growing up being the youngest brother in a family.
Well, it's always tough, I was brought up, brothers always kind of beating me up. We played a lot of wiffle ball in the court and football, and I had two neighbors that lived across the street, so pretty much I had four older brothers. They were the same age as my middle brother, and they were best friends ever since I grew up. So, a lot of tough times. It was tough growing up, but they made me stronger and they made me tougher, so it was kind of a good thing in the long run.
Did you end up being the toughest out of all of them?
I would say I ended up being the biggest. My middle brother's like 5'10", and my oldest brother's like a 5'11", so I'm about 6 feet, 6'1", so it ended up being all right.
And you actually used that size a little bit in high school. Besides baseball, you were a bit of a football star. You played high school football. You were the quarterback at Turlock High School. And you weren't just a guy that was back there taking snaps. You had a lot of success, received a lot of honors. Talk about playing high school quarterback.
It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I was contemplating whether I was going to play my senior year or not after I had finished up the junior year showcases and everything, but I decided to end up playing, and I was really glad I did because it was a great year. My junior year went 0-10, and then my senior year we ended up turning around to go 8-3 and made the playoffs the first time in 8 years. So it was really fun, a lot of memories, and I miss it, but at the same time, baseball's always my first love.
And you say baseball is your first love. What's a bigger rush, throwing a long touchdown or hitting a home run?
I would say hitting a home run. Back in the day, I used to think that football was a lot easier just because the success rate's a lot better than baseball, But, now that baseball's my only sport I play, I think baseball's the bigger rush.
Now, sticking to the high school theme, in 2009, you were 15 years old, just finished up your sophomore year in high school, and yet here you were playing for USA Baseball, the U16, under-16 national team. You went to Taiwan and won a gold medal. First off, Kevin, talk about the tryout process to get onto that team, and then the experience of being in Taiwan and winning a gold for Team USA.
The tryouts were pretty rigorous. We'd wake up in the morning, we'd go work out for 3 or 4 hours, come back for lunch, have an hour or two break, and we'd go back there and prepare for a game. So we were at the field anywhere from 10 to 12 hours a day. It's kind of like here, I would say it was a little more tough there just because it was a week and they kind of tried to cram everything in. So they were pretty tough, a lot of good competition. Taiwan was an awesome experience. The weather was pretty hot there, so it was pretty challenging for all of us. We were there for, I think, 2 weeks, and we ended up playing, I think it was 10 games, 3 exhibition games, and 7 regular games. We beat Chinese Taipei and Mexico to advance to the finals, and then we ended up playing Cuba in the finals and win a gold medal, and there's no better feeling than dogpiling with a gold medal around your neck, so it was awesome.
Absolutely. And Kevin, another good feeling for you coming out of high school. You're drafted in the 2011 Major League Draft by the Cleveland Indians. 25th round, middle rounds, not too high, but also not too low with the amount of rounds in the Major League Draft. What's the biggest challenge in being drafted and having to decide, do I go to school or try to play professionally right out of high school?
Yeah, it's all about experience, and, whether you want to lose the college experience and, say, okay, I have 3 years in college and get some of my education out of the way, or if you want to go straight in the minor leagues and risk it all. So that was a big thing for me. I really value my education. I was asking for a lot of money, so that made it easy on the teams to say, okay, we don't want to draft you. And so I slipped on the 25th round, and that was fine with me. But in the end, I figured that getting my school out of the way was probably one of the most important things I could have done.
And you chose to go to UCLA and become a Bruin out there in the Pac-12. Talk about not just your freshman year playing in 44 games, being a major contributor as a freshman on campus, but being a major contributor to a team that made a deep run in the College World Series at Omaha.
It was a great year. We had a lot of great juniors that led our team. They're our leaders, no doubt about it. I was kind of struggling in the beginning of the year. I started off hitting like 170 in the first 35 games. But then once I started getting, pretty accurate playing time, once I got a consistent amount of at-bats, I ended up turning it around and started the last, whatever many games at third base. So it was great. It was a great experience. Really cherished Omaha. It was awesome. It was a first-class, operation there. So that was awesome to be able to go there my freshman year, and hopefully we can get back there next year. But this year was pretty awesome.
How would you compare your experience in the College World Series to the World competition in Taiwan?
I mean, very, very similar. You know, you're there to do one job, and that's to win a national championship, and in the USA situation, a world championship. A lot of great players. You know, anyone could be anyone on any given day. They're both awesome experiences in my lifetime, probably two of the most memorable, that's for sure. So very similar, and they're both pretty historic.
Now you finish up your freshman year at UCLA as the brigade is coming by, and you get word you're coming into the Northwoods League to play for the Crosse Loggers. Talk a little bit about, I know Andy McKay, Joe Petone get a lot of talk, but Drew Hannon is a guy that I think kind of slips under the radar, works a lot with you guys in the infield, and also a former Logger, and he's a little bit younger. How do you relate to Drew, and what kind of job does he do as a coach?
He's a very good players coach. You know, he relates to us very well. He knows that, you know, it's tough out here. So he's kind of more, I mean, he's a great coach, but he also knows what we're going through because he did it himself here. Coach McKay and Joe, they're awesome coaches. You know, they're older coaches, so you don't get as well with them as younger coaches like Drew and Coach Katz. So yeah, they're definitely more player friendly. You know, they kind of loosen up the mood, keep us loose, keep us relaxed, but at the same time, you know, Drew's done a pretty good job with us infielders. You know, he's taught us, you know, different things, coming to get the ball, different stuff, you know, stuff that he teaches at North Florida that we may not get in California because most of the infielders are from California. So he's a good coach. I really like him.
And you're just about done here with your first summer of collegiate baseball. You'll head back to UCLA. Not sure if you'll come back to the Northwoods League or maybe a different league next summer, but maybe if you hear of some teammates of yours or maybe some friends playing college ball, they find out they're coming to the Crosse Loggers to play in the Northwoods League. If they came to you and said, what's in store for me, what can I expect, what would you have to say to them?
I mean, it's a great experience. You know, the atmosphere is awesome around here. It's baseball only. You got to get your work done. You know, if you put the time in, you're going to get rewarded. I mean, it's been an awesome experience so far. La Crosse is a great town. It's, you know, they all care about baseball a lot. But, you know, it's a grind out here, and the Northwoods League is, and that's why they created it. But you come out here, you get better and play baseball, and that's really all you're asking for. So,
Kevin, where do you feel this summer your game has progressed the most through playing in the Northwoods League?
Well, my coach wanted me to come out here and kind of develop a new swing. You know, the downhill swing to get more backspin and hit more long balls. And I feel like, you know, after the first, 50 at bats, I kind of got more comfortable with the new swing. You know, it's kind of tough transition because I always had like a top spin swing, you know. So I feel like I've developed a new swing, and that's been pretty crucial for me and important. But pretty much, I mean, I feel like I've come out here, got stronger in the weight room, and you know, a lot of us are going to the weight room every day. So I mean, I feel like my whole game's pretty much been developed as more of a whole.
And a lot of guys have been progressing this summer, and as a result, a lot of success. In fact, this is the most successful Loggers team in the 10-year history of the franchise. With every win, you guys are setting a new record for wins in a season. What does that mean for you? I mean, I know it's just a one summer stop, but your name will be on this roster that is probably going to forever have the most wins. It's going to be impossible, almost, for another team to get this many wins. How do you feel leaving that kind of legacy?
I mean, it's awesome, and it's awesome for all the group of guys. You know, we work extremely hard. We're here at the ballpark pretty early every day. You know, we get our work in at the gym before the game and after the game. You know, I think, you know, it's just a good group of guys to be around. We all understand each other, we support each other, and it shows in the field. We have good chemistry, and it's a pretty awesome experience to be able to know that we're probably the best Loggers team to play so far. So. And
I know a lot of you guys are on Twitter. How well do you think you're going to be able to keep in touch with these guys once the season is over and as the following years go on?
I mean, there's a lot of guys in California, and for the guys that aren't in California, I feel like I can connect with them just as well as the guys in California. So, you know, Twitter and Facebook, there's a lot of guys that, you know, you can connect with and still talk to. So I feel like I'll be able to still talk to them as the season goes on and check on how they're doing and stuff. So I think it'll be fine. You know, we all get along pretty well, so it'll be fine once the season's over.
Kevin, if there was a Major League Baseball player that you feel your game most resembles, who'd you say it would be?
Previous coaches have told me that I resemble Chase Utley just because I used to play second base, left-handed hitter. You know, I'm not really sure what MLB player I resemble, but you know, hopefully I get to the big leagues and someone can say that about me later on. So.
What about growing up, Kevin? Who was the guy you looked up to?
I mean, I always loved Barry Bonds. I've always been a San Francisco Giants fan ever since I was little. So I looked up to him a lot. You know, obviously the whole steroid era thing that kind of tarnished his name a little bit. But, you know, I like Joe Mauer, David Wright. They're all good quality guys. So, I mean, any major leaguer you can look up to.
Kevin, we'll get you out of here after this one. If there's a memorable moment for you this summer with the Loggers, both offensively and defensively, what would you name as your most memorable moments?
The defensive moment would definitely be at Madison. I made a play at the line. I don't make many very many diving plays, so that was pretty special for a diving play there. Offensive, I'd probably say the home run I hit against Wausau at Wausau. I was kind of struggling, and he laid a curveball in there, and I hit it pretty far, so it felt good, and it definitely kind of boosted up my confidence a lot. So.
And Kevin, actually your first home run of the season, you hit it at C.O. Brown Stadium in Battle Creek,
Yeah.
so you're one of about probably 8 guys the entire year to hit one out there. That must have felt pretty good as well.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like I said, I was struggling early on in the year, and it just felt good to get some good wood on the ball, and luckily it went out. So.
All right, Kevin. Well, thank you very much for joining us on Meet the Loggers, and good luck the rest of the way. Just a few games remaining.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
And Loggers fans, thanks for tuning in.